Good evening, viewers. Welcome to Let's Talk Fashion and Everything Else. I'm your host, Carla Hazel, from a company called Face of Fashion. I am the founder and CEO of Face of Fashion. We are a fashion modeling and fashion design management located right here in New York City. So tonight, as the show says, let's talk fashion and anything else you want to talk about. I had a few fans sending me questions and about fashion, and I'm going to tell my story, my fashion story, using the questions that my fans, you the viewers, have sent to me. So one of the first questions that was sent to me was, from Vivian Hazel. And she asked me, has the pandemic have any serious impact on the fashion industry in New York City? And yes, it has. Because we're all locked in, so we can't create events for people to go to. That's what we do in the fashion industry. A lot of events are created. Not only the fashion industry, but also the entertainment, industry. We all depend on events. Everything is an event. So the fact that we are on lockdown, nothing is taking place. We are all at standstill. So of course it has impacted the fashion industry. Another question was asked about a headpiece that I had on yesterday in one of my promoting videos. And no, I did not design that headpiece. It was something that I picked up last year when I was just shopping around. But again, you want to carry out your look, and you have to find the things that complements what you're doing. I'm going to move on to another question from Carla Talbot, and her question was, what are your favorite colors? That's funny, because for anybody who is close to me, they know my favorite color is red. I love my reds. Then she asked also, what color goes with different skin tone? Again, it depends on your skin tone. And my suggestion is use the warm colors. Use the warm side of the color wheel. For example, red, peach, coral, orange, amber, and yellow. These are called warm colors. So depend on your skin tone. Put it against your skin and see what it looks like. And again, you can never fail with neutral colors. You should always have a neutral pair of shoes. It goes with everything. So you can never fail with neutral colors. That was a question from Carla Talbot. Carla, I hope I answered your question. Now, I'm moving on to another question. I'm answering questions tonight, and it's from Nuvo Saka. And his question was, how can a designer get his or her product viewed in one of the top outlets like Macy's or Walmart? Well, to be honest with you, that is a challenge that a lot of designers have. But at Face of Fashion, that's what we do. We provide that service. So I would invite that designer to our office and let them know the services that we provide. We can be an agent for them, and we can go in and negotiate with places like Macy's and Walmart to sell their products. So, we have the platform. We can act as an agent, as a representative for the designer who is interested in showcasing their products. And especially we work with a lot of designers who are from, who are from out of state and out of country. They are international designers. So they are the ones really looking for a home in New York City, which is one of the fashion capitals of the world. So then we would invite them in, or even if they can't come in, we would represent them go in, speak to Macy's or Walmart or any other department stores that they might be interested in, because a lot of these department stores have a lot of programs available right here in the U.S. But if you don't reside there, you don't have an address, you don't have a mailing address, we represent and can be the liaison for that international designer who doesn't have a home here or who wants presence in the United States of America. That's what we're here for. That's one of our many services. So I hope I answered Nuvu's question. The other question was from Alroy Williams. Alroy Williams, and this was a question. She asked, how did the COVID-19 affect face of fashion? Alroy, the COVID-19 affected everyone, not only face of fashion, but everyone. Because again, we are all at standstill, right? We are on lockdown, so we can't go out. But what we can take advantage of right now is the digital world, social media. Everybody is using social media as a platform. If you were not using it before, then you have to use it now. You have no choice because everybody's working from home. Everybody's in isolation. So yes, it has impacted the fashion industry, face of fashion, the entertainment, everybody. It has impacted everybody. And she also asked, if I received the stimulus package, because I'm a business, no, Alroy, I haven't received the stimulus package. I haven't taken advantage of it, but we are thinking about it because the stimulus package for small businesses is there for that purpose, for businesses like myself that, we are at home, we're in lockdown, we are not generating any revenue right now. We need help, like most businesses, having to lay off staff, we cannot generate any income. We generate our income through our events. We cannot do any of that. So that's where the stimulus package can help small businesses or any business, whether it's small, medium, or large, like Face of Fashion. So I hope I answered your question. And I'm moving to see her question too was, how do you see Face of Fashion going forward in the normal future? In the normal future, oh my goodness, is anything going to be normal? Is anything at all going to be normal? Well, planning ahead, because as a business, you always have to plan ahead. We foresee executing all the events that we had in mind. And one of the events that we have every year, our annual event, is called Caribbean New York Fashion Week. So we're still planning it. If things change, we'll just put it off for a later date. And then we always have, smaller events where we represent a lot of fashion designers where they have their own smaller personal presentations. So as long as we get the okay to go out and do business, as long as the government set a plan in motion to allow us to come out when they open the economy, we have to move forward with our plans. And if not, then we have to do everything digital. We don't have a choice. We don't have much choice in a situation like that. So we're just waiting to see what the government is going to do, if they're going to open the economy, and how far we can take our business plans. For now, that's where we lie. So I hope I answered your question, Alroy. That was a very good question, I must say. And I'm moving on to more questions. Actually, Sapphire Sky, she asked a question about jewelry. Her question was, I love jewelry and everything that is bling. Do you have any suggestions for accessories? I love jewelry too. And it depends on your personal feelings. When it comes to fashion, it all comes down to your personality. What are you feeling? And whatever you're feeling, it is complemented with what complements what you're going to put on, the total look. At the end of the day, with fashion, you always want a total look. So if you love an accessory, like a handbag, because a handbag is an accessory, then you get the handbag to match your look. If you love watches, let the watch complement what you're wearing. If you love hats, if you love scarves, if you love whatever you love, and not only for women, but for men as well. Men, the accessory, a tie, a bow tie, a watch, a hat, all these are accessories. So it depends on what your taste is. It depends on what makes you feel good. It complements the look. It makes you feel good. It gives you confidence. So that is what you should wear. Wear what makes you feel good. That's what I would suggest. So I hope I did answer Sophia's question. Now, a few people have also asked me, how did I get into fashion? Carla, how did you get into fashion? How did I get into fashion? Well, I'm going to go back in time. My love for fashion began with my grandmother. Her name is Iona Defoe. She was one of my motivators and inspirations. And not only my grandmother, actually is the four women in my life. My grandmother, my mom, Shirley Hazel, my aunt Uella Marie, and my sister Carla Hazel LeBlanc. These are the four women in my life that influenced me and inspired me to move forward with fashion. My grandmother was a seamstress by trade. My mother was what they call a fashionista now. She was a very stylish lady. And my aunt, Uella Marie, was also a fashionista too. So I was surrounded by fashion. And my sister Carrie, whenever I took part in various contests, beauty contests, fashion contests in the island of Dominica. I'm from the island of Dominica, for those of you who did not know and did not recognize my accent. I'm from the island of Dominica. That's where I first started my fashion dream, on the island of Dominica. And it began with my grandmother. I was her mannequin. I was her little model. I was always around her, threading her needles, when she was sewing. That's what she did for a living. That was a trade, sewing. The people in the community would come to her and she would sew for them. And my mother was very stylish. And whenever my mother would go out to study abroad, there's a few things she would bring home. She would bring back home the culture, the cuisine, and the fashion. The fashion again. So fashion has been in my family, and it's like second nature to me. I was this girl that was always looking different. You could see me in a crowd because my fashion was different. I had the luxury of a grandmother who could sew whatever I wanted. So at a very early age, I did not know I was getting into fashion design, but look at me now. That's where it stems from. I didn't get up one day and say, oops, well, I'm a fashion designer. It was there. It was there. So these are my influences. My grandmother, my mom, my aunt, and my sister. And my sister is very creative herself. I mean, she can put something together real quick and you would think that, she planned it months ago. Once you're creative, it is easy for you to get into creative things. Using, for example, I'm the kind of person with my creative mind, I will see a white wall, but that's not all I see. I see what I can do with that white wall. Not just a block. The white wall would be a canvas for me, and I could decorate it. And that's what fashion is for me. I see one thing, and then I build on it. So for those of y'all who don't have a fashion sense, it just takes one thing. Sometimes it's your hairdo. You build on your hairdo. You find out what are your favorite colors. And whatever you like, you wear. Because then it makes you feel comfortable. It makes you feel confident. You can walk that walk. You can walk with your head high up. Because that's what fashion is too, confidence. If you have confidence, you can pull out anything. It doesn't matter if your size or your height or anything like that. It comes down to confidence for you to pull out any fashion that you like. I mean, for example, look at me today. I'm wearing this blonde hairdo. I challenged myself. I was wearing black all the time. I'm like, no, I want to change up. I want to change up all the time. It reminds me when I was a little girl playing doll. If you played doll, where you had your dolls and you would always change them up with different outfits or comb their hair, that's what fashion is. Just playing, having fun with it. Sometimes you don't have to take yourself seriously. You just have to play with fashion. Another viewer asked me, another fan asked me, so, how did I get my big break? Because you can have a dream, but that doesn't mean it can catapult. Because there are so many challenges. And this is the answer I'm going to give this fan, this viewer. I also have another career in finance and accounting. And I was working for this financial company, a major financial company, and they were going through changes. And they were giving us severance packages. I had worked there for about 6 years, and here they were selling over our division, and we were left to move on our own. So I said to myself, for as hard as I had worked with that company, if I am going to work that hard again, it's going to be for myself, and it's going to be something that I am passionate about. So as I was, going through the last days of being in the company, I was actually talking to another co-worker over a photocopying machine, and I was telling her, what my ideas were about starting my own business. And I was trying to figure out a name. So we were there playing with names. And over a photocopying machine, I came up with the name Face of Fashion. That's how that name came about. Because what Face of Fashion is, the logo stands, is a face. It could be anybody's face. It's my face, it's your face, and not only female, male. It is faceless. It represents anyone. That's what Face of Fashion logo represents. It is faceless and it represents anyone. And with that said, I took 3 months and I wrote a proposal. And my aim was to target all the major modeling industries in the world. At first, I was concentrating on the modeling industry. I found out the top 10 modeling industries. And this is a true story. That's how Face of Fashion started. And I got 3 responses from the 3 top modeling agencies. And one of them was Ford Models, Inc. And I said to myself, nobody knows Face of Fashion. This is a new company. There's no way nobody would know Face of Fashion. But if I partnered with Ford Models, which is, they had been about over 70 years in the business, under the directorship of Eileen and Jerry Ford. So doing business with them, partnering with them, they would learn who Face of Fashion was. And Ford Models had a division called Ford Supermodel of the World. And the package that I sent, the proposal that I sent, is sent it to that division. And that's where the story started. We shared the same vision. We wanted the same things. Because Ford Model Supermodel of the World, they had this competition for, when I got in, for over 40 years, where all the girls around the world would participate. It was almost like a mini Miss Universe, but for young girls between the age of 14 and 24. And they did not have representation in the Caribbean. So that's where I stepped in. That's where Face of Fashion stepped in to cover the Caribbean. They had no representation. And here came opportunity. And I did not realize it was going to go that quick and that fast, but that's what happened. Once they started talking to me, there was no going back. There was no going back. And luckily for me, remember I said I had that financial job, and they gave me a severance package. It was a nice severance package. I had a house. I had houses. I sold one of them. I was cashing out on everything I had invested in. And I accumulate over $150,000. And that's how I started Face the Fashion, with a team. With a team which included my brother, Cohen Hazel, and my friend, Jerry James. When I told Jerry James about the idea, because I know he was good at photography and the camera, he said, Carla, just get me a camera and we'll do the rest. So I was the only woman, the owner of Face of Fashion, with about 6 guys ready to tour the Caribbean to find that girl. For 4th supermodel of the world, the girl was from the Caribbean. I'm telling you, this is a very interesting story. I get emotional every time I talk about it because everybody told me I was crazy. How can you do this, Carla? You couldn't tell me anything. I'm stubborn as a mule. I'm stubborn as a mule. I don't take no for an answer, and I move forward. So I accumulated the people who I wanted to work with me. I did my business forward, all the contract signing and everything. And on July 1st of 2006, we hit the Caribbean. We hit Trinidad and Tobago first. Then we went to Martinique. We went to St. Lucia. And our last stop was Dominica again. I'm from Dominica. I'm not going to leave Dominica out, right? And we kept our model castings on the beaches, on the islands. When we went to Trinidad and Tobago, we had our casting on Maracas Bay. Never been to Trinidad before, but love Trinidad. And we went to St. Lucia. When we landed in St. Lucia, it was carnival. We never knew what we were going to walk into. That's what made the whole project interesting. Then when we left St. Lucia, we headed to Martinique. Martinique, we walked into a boat competition. It's an annual boat competition that they had every year. Never heard of it. We had never been to Martinique. But one of the guys that was part of the team, he spoke fluent French. He had connections in Martinique. So guess what? Everything worked out in Martinique. Then we finally hit Dominica. And then when we held those model castings, what we did, we selected 3 girls from every island. And at the end of the day, we brought them to St. Lucia. That's where we had the major competition. And I had a Ford representative come down to St. Lucia, had a competition in St. Lucia, and the person who won the competition, her name was Coffee Daniels, and she was nicknamed Caribbean Coffee. That's a whole other story. I have all this footage, and I have all the videos. I have them in series to show the proof of all the work that has been done, because I'm talking about 2006, between 2006 and 2008, and right now we're in 2020. So it's almost going on 15 years since I've had this business, Face of Fashion. And I have been working with a lot of models. I started with all about the models, but then you can't deal with the models and not the designers. The models are the designer's mannequin. That's who the models are. They work hand in hand. The models are the ones who showcase the designer collections. And that's how Face of Fashion started. Partnering with Ford Models, Inc. I had the opportunity to meet Eileen and Jerry Ford, the founders. And how I started, that's exactly how they started. When they first started, they were housing young girls at their home. And they were building them up into supermodels. First, you have to be an aspiring model. Then you have to be a working model. People use the word supermodel very loosely. Everybody's a supermodel, but that's not true. Actually, you want to be a working model more than a supermodel. That means you'll always have money in your hands. So I got into business with Ford Models, and I learned the business. I learned the modeling business. I was with the best of the best. I took my camera and I went into this space. I can remember them telling me, Carla, what are you going to do with that footage? I said, I'll show you what I'm going to do with that footage. Because I was learning the business from the best. You have to take notes. Anything that you want to get into in life, you have to educate yourself. And we have the luxury of two things right now: Google and YouTube. Anything in life that you want to learn, Google the question, do your research, do your homework. And YouTube have a tutorial for everything. If I am stuck doing an assignment today, I go into YouTube, I put the question, and a tutorial will show up. If I do not have an answer, I'll put it in Google. Something will show up to give you an insight into whatever it is you're trying to do. Whether it's fashion, whether it's engineering, whether it's accounting, whatever it is, there's an answer. And if you do not know, ask somebody who knows. Because I know a lot, but I don't know everything. So the everything I do not know, I go to a friend of mine. She might not know, but she might know somebody who knows. You just have to be so determined at what you want. My God, for God's sake, they told me I was crazy. And when I think about it right now, I was crazy, but good crazy. I was good crazy because I was determined to follow my fashion dream. But the plus that I had is that my background was accounting and finance. I actually have a degree in accounting and finance. I went to one of the best schools, and I use it in my business, in my everyday life. Because what I've learned just dealing with a lot of the fashion designers is that they do not have the business sense. And that's where Face of Fashion, we provide a lot of services to help fashion designers. We don't only give them the platform to showcase their design collections, but we want to continue with them and show them how to set up the business. So that's one of the services that we provide. Our website is www.fofashion.com. So on our website, you find out all the services that we provide. Now, when I got into that business of Face of Fashion and the business of fashion, again, as I said, I have a love for it. And this is a platform that, my business, Face of Fashion, provides to everyone who's in the fashion talent, anyone who has fashion talents, anyone who is in the fashion industry. And what I realized very early in the business is that that business is very competitive, and their favorite answer is no. No, no, no. Girls who have model dreams, they can't get through that door easily. They can't. If you're in the Caribbean, you're stuck. When you come to New York, so much competitions, they choose the best from the best. That's what I say. And that's where Face of Fashion is different. I was that girl in Dominica, on the small island of Dominica, who had modeling dreams. I did some of it in Dominica. I came up to the States trying to do some of it, but my mom said to me, Carla, be practical. Be practical. Do a practical degree. And I tried it. And then I listened to her. And I got a practical degree. That's where accounting and finance came in. And I have been doing it for many, many years. I still do some contract work from time to time. But I'm doing my love right now, which is fashion. I started almost 15 years ago. I did the practical. Now I'm doing my love. But they both work out with each other. They both work with each other, hand in hand. So I'm a blessed child, lucky me. But that's how when you're young, you have to plan your future. Sometimes you do not know how it's going to happen. But if you are determined, if you are consistent, God will put the right people in front of you. The opportunities will be there. To be honest with you, I did not know. I had the dreams. I did not know how I was going to execute them. I did not even know when I spoke to Ford how it was going to happen. I did not know where I was going to get the money. But you can't wait when you have the money to start dreaming. You have to start dreaming first and figure out how you're going to get the money, right? If you agree with me, give me thumbs up or give me some love if you agree with me. You have to start dreaming early and put out that dream in the universe so it can be executed later on in life. Nothing is easy. Nothing is easy, especially New York City. It is not easy to do anything in New York City. That's why they say if you make it in New York City, you can make it anywhere. But you have to be determined and you have to be consistent. Every day has to count. It might be a small thing that you're doing today. It could be a drawing. It could be a design. It could be learning a new application. It could be anything. Anytime you work on something, you add in and you're adding and you're adding. I did something today. I'm adding to what I'm going to do tomorrow. And on the fourth day, that means I had 2 days ahead of me. Now I have more on the third day. I look at myself right now and I'm like, my God, it's almost 15 years. It's almost 15 years. And I'm doing this. And I'm like, how did I survive it? Because I'm in a city where it's very competitive. But it has been a challenging journey and it has been so beneficial in so many ways. And one of the many ways it has been so beneficial is meeting different people. I got to know the Caribbean because of fashion. Working with different designers from the Caribbean on all the islands. I know people on every island in the Caribbean, fashion designers. And because of that, trying to give the designers in the Caribbean especially an opportunity because it's so hard for them. That's how Caribbean New York Fashion Week was created. It's an annual event we have every year in New York City. It's called Caribbean New York Fashion Week. It's not only for the Caribbean designers, it's for all designers, all independent designers who are looking for that platform to showcase their work. And we don't say no. We don't use the word no at Face of Fashion. Not for the fashion designers, not for the fashion models. I don't care what's your size. There is room for you at Face of Fashion, and it doesn't cost you a thing. For the designers, it's a little bit different because they have a business and they have to invest in their business. But for the fashion models, just come and play on our platform, on our runway. You're going to know if you're good or if you're not, or if it's for you or it's not for you. Because I have a lot of girls who approach me all the time and they think, you know what, it's a great opportunity and it's a glamorous life until they get on the runway. The runway will test you out. Because you will see when you come to an event, a fashion event, and you are a participant, that means you are one of the models participating and going to showcase a designer collection on the runway. It is chaotic behind the scenes. It's hard work behind the scenes. You spend 2-3 hours doing makeup alone. And then you have to work with the designer behind the scenes, and you have to run on that runway and run back and forth, just showcasing designs. Now, if that's your love, then, you know, it's easy for you. But then you realize it takes a lot of hard work. Like anything else. Like anything else is hard work. But what I do is hard work. But the difference is that I love what I do. When you love what you do, if it really work. If you're a musician and you love playing music, believe me, it's hard work. My brother is a musician and I see what he does and I shake my head. But he's passionate about it. And his love for it just pushes him on. There are times you feel like quitting. But you cannot quit. I cannot quit. Because I love what I do. I play dress up every day. Today I'm in blonde. Tomorrow you'll see me in red. And the day after you see me in black. Change up the look all the time. Having fun with it. Sometimes you cannot take yourself that serious. You can't take yourself too serious. Life is short. See what we're going through right now in Corona land. We are all on lockdown. We are all on lockdown. We had so many plans this year. We all had many plans this year. And what is going on now? We're trying to save ourselves. What's most important right now? Our health. Our health is most important. Nothing else is important right now. Not even the fashion that I'm doing here is that important. But I don't mind entertaining. I still have dreams. I still have plans for the year. If they open the economy, we will move forward with the plans that we want to execute. Or we just change up on it because everything right now how it's impacting the fashion industry or the entertainment industry is that we are all at standstill. We all live to do events. Every industry we're in live to do events. Everything is an event. For those of you who did not hear me earlier on, I'm repeating myself. Everything is an event. The sports is an event. To go to a sports game is an event. To go to a fashion show is an event. Corporate America, they have conferences, conventions, is an event. And we can't do any events right now because of coronavirus. If anybody out there have any questions, you can send your questions and I will try to answer them right now. Everything is an event. Everything. Anyone have any questions? Any questions? Viewers, any questions? Hi, Davina, Kegra. Oh, Davina, so happy to see you. Sophia Sky. Hello, Sophia. Hi, Desmond. It has been a while. Fashion shows. I was asked, how soon am I having a fashion show? Well, I could have a fashion show digital, because we're on lockdown. So how soon can we have anything? But I could give you a fashion show. It might be a one person fashion show, which is me. One person fashion show, which is me, because I am on lockdown. Nouveau Saka, I am on lockdown. It will be a one-person fashion show. Believe me, I can entertain you all guys. Every time I come out, I will have a different outfit with a different hairdo. You will think that you had 12 models. But again, if the economy opens, then we can move forward with Caribbean New York Fashion Week and working with all the other designers who want an opportunity to showcase their fashions in various fashion presentations. Did I answer your question, Nouveau Saka? Fashion and music goes hand in hand. You cannot do one without the other. Fashion and music goes hand in hand. Right? Because right now I'm talking fashion. If I put in a little music, it would just spice up everything. But I want to talk to you all directly, so I am not including any music in this, in our conversation tonight. But when I have my fashion shows, or actually in the entertainment business, you must have music. You must have musicians. You must have the DJs, whether it's live music or, pre-recorded. Music is essential in every fashion event. It guides the fashion show. It controls the fashion show. There's no way you can have a fashion show without music. It sets the mood. Music sets the mood for everything. Whether it's a fashion show or a sporting event, it sets the mood. Any more questions? Hello. Does anyone have any more questions? What else do you want to know about fashion for now? Because we are here at Let's Talk Fashion and everything else. I can go back to some of the questions that a few people asked me earlier on. For those of you who did not signed on earlier, I was asked, has the pandemic have any serious impact on the fashion industry? Oh yes, it has. The pandemic has made us stop everything that we were doing and all our plans for the year. Yes, because we're all on lockdown. So all the events that was planned a year ago either has been cancelled or rescheduled. Now I was asked, how do models sign up with you? Yes, models, that's pretty easy. Go to www.fofashion.com. There's a model page. Just fill it up. Same thing for the designers. On Face of Fashion website, www.fofashion.com, there's a designers page. All you have to do is fill it up, complete the application, and we'll communicate with you. All the directives are there. So that was a pretty easy question. And also, Face of Fashion, we have an online store. At first, the intention of the online store was to showcase fashion and designers' fashion and bridal designs. But since we got into coronavirus, we have placed other products on our FO Fashion online store, like the mask. Anything that's going to impact our situation right now, we're trying to sell on our online store. So we're selling masks right now. So anybody that's looking for a mask, just go onto www.fofashion.com on the fashion store page. You can order your mask. It will be delivered right to your doorstep. All that was in the making before coronavirus. And we just had to switch up things because, again, a wedding is an event. All those who are getting married this year had to put it on pause. I love fashion right now, but is it a priority? That's when we get serious. Is it a priority right now? Other things have become a priority right now. So you have to know your priorities. Am I going to buy a pair of shoes right now? No. Where am I going? I'm not going anywhere. But I know I need a mask when I do have to go around other people. So that's what we're selling on FO Fashion online store. Yes. So do you have any more questions? I'm taking questions right now. Hi, Carol Fraser. How are you doing all the way from Guyana? Carol Fraser is a designer, and a designer extraordinaire who have done work with me before. She's one of my earlier designers. She has participated for many years in Face of Fashion events, Caribbean New York Fashion Week. Her designs are very organic, very organic. She uses raw material. She uses fiber, Carol. Correct me if I'm wrong. Talk to me, Carol. But Carol has been in the business for years, and she's highly respected. So I'm giving some thumbs up to Carol Fraser, who is watching right now all the way from Guyana. As I said, I have friends all over the Caribbean and, who have participated in Caribbean New York Fashion Week and other fashion events that we have, Face of Fashion have held. And we try to maintain our relationships. That's what business is all about, maintaining relationships. Any more questions? I see Zilla Coffee's watching. Hi, Zilla. I see my friend from BronxNet, Horace Baker. He's watching. Hi. And I'm very happy to see Davina Gregory right there. Hi, Davina. It has been a while. You see, I was planning to come down to Caribana for, in August. And I was going to give you a holler, but things have changed. We're in Corona land. What a pity. We are all on lockdown, but we can make use of our time. All of us who have time right now, we have a whole lot of time right now. We should make good use of our time. We will never get it like that again. So all the things you have on hold is a very good time to do them. Take advantage of your time. How is it in Canada, Davina? I'm curious. Your president are very good to you all. Your president is very good to you all in Canada. Am I right or am I right? It's crazy in New York City. It is crazy in New York City. I haven't seen so many deaths like that in my lifetime. I'm just trying to take care of me. And that is the fashion and everything else right now that we're talking about, besides fashion. All what's happening right now, all the current events that's affecting our lives. Any more questions? Zilla Coffee, do you have any questions? Are you still on? If anyone would like to know the services that Face of Fashion provides, then you could inbox me for us to have more meaningful conversation. Okay, I mentioned a few questions before, and I answered the questions, and I will repeat some of them because I'm being asked the same question again. And it was one of the questions that's been asked to me is, how can a designer get his or her products viewed by top sales outlets like Macy's and Walmart? And my response to that was, Face of Fashion will provide this service where we can act on your behalf, on the fashion designer's behalf, and be either their agent or their liaison. Because a lot of the designers that we deal with, they live out of the state, out of New York City, out of the US. We work more with international designers because a lot of designers who are already in the US, they know how the business works. They don't really need much representation. A lot of the international designers need more representation. So they don't have an address here. They don't have a tax ID number here. There's quite a few things they need to do business here. And that's how we can step in. And if they want representation, if they want presence in the United States, in New York City, we can work on their behalf. And we can work and negotiate with department stores like Macy's and Walmart, who right now have various fashion programs for a designer to showcase their work at the department stores. There's quite a few opportunities right now. And for the last, I would say, 5 years, they have started a lot of new programs where designers can showcase their work, their designs, their brands. But again, if you're not living in the United States, it can be a challenge. But we can get rid of that challenge because Face of Fashion, we can act on your behalf as an agent, as a representative, and as a liaison to negotiate on your behalf. I hope I answer your question, Novusaka. Any more questions? Any more questions? Anything else you want to know about Face of Fashion? I'm willing to answer any specific fashion questions that you may have. I'm being asked, is there a fee or standard fee for our services? Yes. Yes, there's always a fee. We're all in business to make profit. But one thing I will tell you about Face of Fashion, our fees are economical. It's a win-win situation. The designer wins, Face of Fashion wins. And we really work on behalf of the designer. Again, as I said, I'm very passionate about what I do. And we give more than 100%. We are smaller, but smaller doesn't mean Smaller only means more quality. Smaller only means more quality. Take quality over quantity. Our contacts, our relationships are very important to us. And we want to make sure that our clients walk away. Actually, I'm going to take that back. We don't want them to walk away. But we want to maintain our relationships with them. And we want to make sure that they are more than satisfied. I said more than satisfied. Face of Fashion, another question that was posed to me, does Face of Fashion have any mentoring programs? Yes. Actually, that was one of our big plans this year. And if you go on our website, you're going to see Face of Fashion School. Because a lot of people have been asking me over the years, Carla, do you have the opportunities for children models? And yes, we have used children models in the past. But this year, 2020, we were really going to concentrate on younger models and see where we are right now. But it has been in the making, and because we want to be the mentors for the younger models. And we have that platform. We have the platform. And we're in one of the fashion capitals of the world, New York City. So it's a great opportunity for aspiring models. Aspiring models are those with model dreams, can come and use our platform to see if they really like it. But one thing I will tell you about getting into fashion modeling, I have seen a lot of young people, and I've met hundreds and hundreds of girls. They come very shy. I love when they come very shy. I love when they come in like a caterpillar that turns into a beautiful butterfly. By the time that they meet up with other models like themselves, they connect with other models, they make new friends. That's a few of the benefits. They walk away with that confidence immediately. I have seen young models walk in and they walk out as different people. I'm like, do I know you? I'm being asked, when will we head back to the Caribbean? As soon as we find the right opportunities. Because fashion is very big in the Caribbean right now. I can remember when I started, it wasn't like that. But everybody's doing something in the Caribbean with regards to fashion right now. Fashion is getting a lot of attention in the Caribbean. But this is what I will say with regards to the Caribbean. For the Caribbean designers who are looking for that platform to showcase their work, Face of Fashion is ready and available to work with fashion designers from the Caribbean. So don't be scared. Have the courage to communicate with and contact us at Face of Fashion for us to help you. Sometimes a lot of the designers are scared. They have the talent. Listen to me. You have what it takes already. If you already have what it takes, you should not be scared. We will do the rest of the warring for you. Because that's one of the things that I do when I'm working for a lot of, independent designers from all over the world. Because again, Face of Fashion, we deal with designers all over the world. And I communicate with them. I still love talking on the phone. I want to give the designers that I work with a level of comfort so that and prepare them to come to New York City. Because they're all trying to come to New York City to get the opportunity to showcase the fashion design collection during New York Fashion Week when we have our events, or if we are putting together a presentation for them, a smaller event. And sometimes if you have never been to New York, you can be very intimidated based on the things that you hear on television. But I have lived there for many years, over 40 years. I went to school here and worked here for many years. And I'm very comfortable living in New York. Actually, that's one of my favorite places in the world, New York City. I have been other places and I always come back to New York City. So I try to give them the reassurance that they will be okay. I try to give them the comfort level that they will be okay. I take the challenge out of their life, their business life, and try to explain to them in very simple terms. My team and I try to explain to the designers and the models that we work with in very simple terms what they have to deal with. Because sometimes when you do not know something, it looks really complicated, but it's not. And I like to give people the level of comfort, especially if it's something that they love their talents. Yes, I'm being asked that question. It is difficult to showcase a international model or the designer not having a U.S. residence. And that's what Face of Fashion is here for. We know it's difficult and it's costly. We know that. And that's where we step in and try to make it easier. Our fees are very economical. We work with the designers. I have worked with a lot of designers. I've given them opportunities whereby, I took the hit for it. It didn't cost them anything. Again, my love for it. And if I see you have a love for it, we will find a way. No is not in our vocabulary at Face of Fashion. I want the Caribbean designers to know that no is not in Face of Fashion vocabulary. Do not make fear hold you back. I do not know what that is. I am built differently. I love challenges. I have fun with fashion and I take it as serious as a business. There is no answer we cannot resolve, to be honest. As I said, we have two things in this world right now. It's called Google and YouTube. You might not know how to use it, but Face of Fashion employees know how to use it. We will use it for you. We will educate you and inform you. And it doesn't matter if you have no resident in the United States. That doesn't mean you cannot function. We will find a way to function. I have worked going on 15 years with designers long before social media. How did we do before social media? And we still function. There's room for business in the United States. Everybody wants to come to New York because it's one of the fashion capitals of the world. Once you make your mark in New York City, you become an overnight celebrity. I see it happens all the time. A designer will come as a simpleton and she'll walk away as a celebrity when she goes to a country. Oh, everybody will call and say, oh, I saw you. The newspapers write about her. But what I want to let the designers know, that is not the end of it. Don't come to showcase your fashion design and launch your brand and go back home and figure out, I have made it. No, you haven't even started yet. You have not even started yet. There's work to be done. There's something they call consistency. Let us try it. Consistency. I'm really in love with fashion. And I want the designers to be in love with fashion as I am about their talent. I cannot want it more for the designer than the designer want it for themselves. There is the opportunity. Before it used to be so difficult to get into New York City. And right now, it's not that difficult. Why? Because there's Face of Fashion. That's why. There's a company called Face of Fashion who's ready to fight and work on behalf of designers. And I have been doing this. I have been leading my team for going on 15 years. We have been doing it. We have been around. Okay? Another question that was posed to me, what motivates you to go on when everything sounds so challenging? That's a very good question. That's a very good question. Well, I'm a hard worker, and I like people who work hard like me, so I have a hard-working team. Listen to the common denominator, hard worker. Again, that's where consistency comes into play. Challenges. I don't look at things as challenges. Again, it's a mindset, right? If you figure out something is a challenge, then it's going to be a challenge. I figured out how to solve a challenge. How am I going to make this work? What are my options? What are the bottlenecks in my way that prevents me from moving forward? Everybody wants things right now. If you have the mentality of wanting something right now, wrong mentality. Anything that's worth having, you have to work hard for, and you have to get the gift of patience. Find the gift of patience and you'll get what you want. And the other thing I will ask people to include in their life, their personal life and their business life, is God. That's a whole other conversation. Because when the challenges are here, that's who you call on, God, if you're a believer. I'm a believer, so I talk about him freely. And I praise him every day. That's what has me. That's how I survive it. Once you have him in your life, you'll see the miracles, but again, you have to be consistent. You have to walk in your truth. You have to put in the work. There's no shortcut to good business. If you try a shortcut, you're going to fail sooner or later. But if you're consistent, take one day at a time, put in the work, put in the effort, build your relationships with your clients, my clients are the designers and the models and my sponsors. These are my clients. And the sponsors are important because they are the ones who sponsor my events. Everything we do in life is an event. If you did not know, I'm letting you know. Everything we do in life is an event. The sports industry, that's all they do, events. Sports is an event. A wedding is an event. A fashion show is an event. Your life is an event. Just a more serious event. It's your life. You understand? So challenges, sometimes you have to embrace challenges, because if everything you're doing in your life is perfect, when you get stuck, you will not know what to do. When you get stuck, you will not know what to do. You need the challenges. What doesn't kill you will make you stronger. So whenever I have a challenge, I find a way to resolve it. There must be a way. If I don't have the answers, I call on people who might have the answers. As I say to you, I know a lot. I do not know everything, but I am surrounded by a circle of friends who are motivated like me, who have their own businesses. We help out each other. And if I don't have an answer, believe me, my friend have an answer. And if my friend don't have an answer, my friend have an answer. You have to go to people. And how do you maintain these relationships? Trust. That's a whole other conversation on another night. Trust. To be consistent and to maintain your relationships with people, you have to trust them. They have to trust you. Because sometimes, sometimes I try to execute a show. I'm looking forward to sponsorship. It's not coming through. Right now, it's very competitive in the fashion industry in New York. So the way I used to get sponsorship before, it's not that easy anymore. But I still have to create the events. And I get the sponsors based on my relationships. People help me and show up for me based on my relationships with them. Because I have been consistent for the past going on 15 years. Consistency, trust, working hard. There's no shortcut to that. No shortcut. My friend is having an event. I support my friend. I'm having an event. My friends support me. Working together. Promoting each other. That's what I'm about. That's what Face of Fashion is about. That's why I say at the end of the day, we do not use no. No, we don't use the word no. It's not in our vocabulary. If a model shows up and I think she needs a little bit more, I will not tell her no. I'm going to tell her, you know what? You have to try a little bit harder. You have to be better prepared. A fashion designer, have a collection. We have the conversation. Me and my team, we try to guide that designer, how to make that designer become a better designer. We are not here to discourage. We are there to promote, take you to that next level. Vusaka, you see, you have me going around the world with that question. Again, I'm passionate about my fashion, so when you get me talking, I do not know how to stop. Any more questions? Any more questions? Sophia, I see you're here. Do you have any questions, Sophia, Sky? Any questions? I'm about to wind down. Any more questions? For all the viewers that are signing on right now, I'm going to say again, welcome to Let's Talk Fashion and everything else. We have been talking fashion tonight, and we have been talking a lot about a whole lot of everything else. Good night, Rowan, Joseph. I see you just signed on. Do you have a question for me? I'm ready to answer your fashion question. I love when the guys ask questions because fashion is not all about the females, you know. It's all about the guys as well. I work with a lot of fashion models, male fashion models. I am always looking for fashion models, male fashion models. So, Ron, are you ready to walk down the runway at one of his fashion events? Again, if your children, if your niece, if your daughter, your son is interested in fashion modeling, contact Face of Fashion, or better yet, tell them to go on our website, which is www.fofashion.com. And there's a page, a modeling page. They can just go sign up and we'll communicate with them. If you're a fashion designer who's looking for an opportunity to launch your business, your brand on an international runway, you can go on our website at fofashion.com, and there's a designer page where you can complete the page, answer the questions, and we'll communicate with you. There are many pages on our website, and whatever that is, you're interested in, actually just go through the whole website, see what we're all about. We have a lot of photos on our website for past events, and it's pretty interesting because when I think about it, my God, it's almost 15 years. I'm like, where have time went? But a lot of work has been done, and throughout this show, Face of Fashion, I will, I'll tell you all about the work that have been done. But we're always looking for new opportunities. We're always looking for new talents. And again, we have that, we don't use no at Face of Fashion. So what am I saying? There's an opportunity for everyone. You just have to be willing. You just have to be open. You just have to be brave. Have the courage to come forward and try your model dreams. Because I have a lot of girls, a lot of young girls. We work with girls from 14 and all the way up. A lot of young girls who are interested and they do not know where to start. So they can start by just going on our website and filling out the application, and we communicate with them. And once we have, once the doors are open for the economy, they have the opportunity to walk on our runway. They'll know if they like it or not. And I will tell you, most of them really do. They really have fun. They make friends. They network. And they take part in other fashion events. It opened doors for them. A lot of the models are on my page. And I see what they do. And a lot of them started at Face of Fashion. So I was asked earlier on, about mentorship. That's what we do. We mentor. We coach. We train. We uplift. We build their confidence. Do you know what, when you build somebody confidence, what it does? You can walk into a room and don't feel intimidated. It does wonders for your spirit. It does wonders for your energy. So fashion is not only about a look. It's about how it makes you feel. It's about your personality. And your biggest accessory is your smile. Your biggest accessory in fashion is your smile. Whenever I hold a casting call and I put the requirements out there, you know what I put a star next to? Come with your great personality. Your personality is everything in this business. It will open doors for you. A personality with a smile is a winner, is a winner, is a winner. You cannot go wrong. Come with your great personality and your smile. Hi, Jean Leslie. I see you. I see your sign on. Do you have any questions for me? Hello, hello. I'm winding down. I'm still taking questions. So again, all those who are interested in the fashion industry, all those young people who have model dreams, and all these young and in the middle and old who have talents, fashion designing talents, it's not too late to start. It's never too late to start anything in life. It's never too late. Actually, when you're busy, being busy, believe me, you're not getting old. You're not getting old, you're just getting seasoned. You just have a whole lot of wisdom. I'm happy that you're watching with your daughter, Jane. I'm very happy, and if she's interested in fashion modeling, all she has to do is go on Face of Fashion website. The website again is www.fofashion.com. The first F is for faith, the O is for off, and the word fashion. fofashion.com. And she should go on the modeling page and complete the application, and we will communicate with her. It's just that easy. So what happens then when we do have our fashion events? We will give your daughter an opportunity to walk the runway. At first she might be scared, but not for too long. When she meet the other models who are there, and she realizes it is fun. Girls like putting on makeup. Girls like having different hairdos. They like dress up. All these young girls who are interested in fashion modeling, when they were little, they had their dolls. They were dressing their dolls. Can you remember, Jean, when we used to play for our doll? Dress up? That's what it is, really. Dress up. I'm dressed up today. I dress for the show for you all. Tomorrow I'll be a different person. It's a different look. It's all dress up. It's all presentation. I'm talking about presentation. Presentation is everything in this life. When you show up, people notice you and you get the opportunities. Do not show up somewhere and you do not represent yourself well. That's all we have. We have to put on our game face and go there in the world to get the yeses. You cannot show up for no job or for no model casting and not look like a model. You cannot show up at a model casting in your sneakers and not have a pair of heels in your bag. That means you're not serious. When you say you show up for any job, you have to be prepared. If you want to be a model, again, go on YouTube and put in search, how can I be a model? There will be tutorials and examples there for you. So when you do show up at a model casting, you will look as if you have been doing this for 5 years. That's how you do it. We deal with young girls and guys who don't have any experience because we want to give everybody an opportunity. But if you're smart, you'll do your homework. Smart people does their homework. Do your little research and show up for opportunity. Because you can set apart the people who really, really want it and who doesn't want it. Come ready for any job opportunity. Come ready. Yes, Jenny, she wants to do it. Tell her to go on Face of Fashion website, sign up. And when we have our event, she will get that opportunity to feel herself, because that's what you're doing on the runway. You're really feeling yourself while you are showcasing the designers' collections. And for the designers and for anybody who have designing talent, the opportunity is there for you too. You want to talk business? You want to talk opportunity or how you could showcase your work in New York City or any part of America? Yes, we are located in New York City, but we can make anything happen anywhere. Anywhere. We have friends and clients all over the world. I have worked with people who live in Amsterdam, Spain, all over Europe. They spend their money to come to New York City to get the opportunity to showcase their work on our platform. All over the world, not only the Caribbean, but all over the world. Because we are open for business. We're open to give anybody who's looking to launch their brand, to have presence in New York City, to experience what New York Fashion Week is all about, to get a taste of the Big Apple. We're here to provide our services with skilled workers and our skilled team to give them that opportunity. Okay, so you relocated to North Carolina. Okay, I bet there's opportunities in North Carolina. You know, we can always make a way. There's that song, God makes a way out of no way. We can make a way out of no way. You know, even if it's to try it out once. Sometimes, you know, in North Carolina, you know, was the fashion industry in North Carolina. Try to get contacts in North Carolina, you know, for your daughter to get the opportunity. Yes. Every state right now has a fashion industry. I mean, New York is major, but there's a fashion industry in every state. So you just have to inquire to find out what's going on in your state if you really want to get into the business. And then at the time, let's say you come into New York City on vacation, because you have to remember, the designers I deal with, the designers at Face of Fashion deal with, they really don't live here. They really don't live in New York City. Because let me tell you why. The people who reside in New York City, they take it for granted. They already have the opportunity. They already know what to do and where to go. So it's the international designers or designers who are out of state, they are the ones who are looking for the opportunity in New York City. You know, you might be a designer in Colorado and you want to experience what New York Fashion Week is all about. So when they contact a business like ours, we make preparation for them and direct them as to how about, you know, doing their business in New York. We provide that service. Again, it's going to our website. You see all the services that we provide. And that's right. If she comes to New York City in the summer, usually during the summer, that's when we have a lot of our events. So again, it's all about timing, right? It's all about timing because, again, as I said, a lot of the Caribbean designers, they're in the Caribbean. All the foreign designers, they're all over the world. You know, so they have to prepare themselves to come to New York City. I mean, the designers, they buy the tickets, they spend their money to come. They literally spend their money to come to New York City. They spend their money for the opportunity. You have to invest in yourself to get to the next level. There's no free ride. There's no free ride in any business. But what I'll say about Face of Fashion, we are economical. We work with you. That's what we do. We work with you. Whereby you might go to another fashion company and they tell you now, again, we don't use no in our vocabulary. We work with you. Because at the end of the day, we want to help you to launch your business and live your fashion dream. Hi, Sherry Lawford. Thanks for coming on. Thanks for showing up tonight. Welcome to Let's Talk Fashion and everything else. So anybody with any more questions, let me know. Any more fashion questions? Is there anything else you want to talk about in Corona land? You know what's Corona land, right? We're trying our best to take care of ourselves while we're on lockdown. What are you all doing at home? Well, right now I'm doing the show and talking to you all. But everybody's into Netflix. Some people just drink more wine. What are you doing while you're at home? I am still busy on the computer as I have always been. Have an awesome night, Jean Leslie. Thanks for signing on. And say hi to your daughter for me. Sherry Lawford, do you have any questions for me? Because I'm about to sign off in a few minutes. Welcome to Let's Talk Fashion and everything else. We were working on showcasing this Let's Talk Fashion and everything else on a network here in New York City at BronxNet. That is where the show will be at BronxNet. But again, since we're in Corona land, I have to do it from home. And right now, social media has a very big audience. So it's a great platform to continue what I'm doing. We have been doing Let's Talk Fashion and everything else for some time right now. But we have brought it to this platform, doing it live. This is the first time doing it live this way. So I'm going to wind down and I'm going to leave you with these words. At the end of the day, your best fashion accessory is your smile and your great personality. You complement that with your fashion look, and you're a winner. Okay? So I'm saying good night to everyone. I'm Carla Hazel. I'm your host at Let's Talk Fashion and everything else. And thanks for signing on. I really appreciate all of you guys. So smooshes, darling. I'm out.